Right back at you again. Officer Shapat Dayakin. Dropping something heavy for these cowards out here. Yeah. Coming straight from 125th, 1 West, Harlem, New York. Home of the truth, nigga. Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Whom Yasha? And all the warriors be like, Whom Yasha? Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Whom Yasha? And all the warriors be like, Whom Yasha? All day as we discuss how they don't like us. Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us, watch where you stepping. Cause a scene, you gon' see how brotherhood is a weapon. Tough skin protect our wrists, teach girls and kids devoutly. Call them prophetess, a priest damn near nothing without it. More than rubies, cute and understanding when describing. Virtue, loving, no lip from the daughters of Zion. Gold teeth, earrings, chains, and the rings. Precious metals, fabrics, emphatic stones, and everything. Trying to catch the slave, rewind what we rappers slay. Lost in parables, the scripture breakdowns terrible. Yasha Allah, Prince of the power, we are the Jews. God on earth, you can see it by watching all our moves. Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Whom Yasha? And all the warriors be like, Whom Yasha? Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Whom Yasha? And all the warriors be like, Whom Yasha? Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Whom Yasha? And all the warriors be like, Whom Yasha? Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Whom Yasha? And all the warriors be like, Whom Yasha?
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Hey, Shalom, Israel. It's like, let me find my button there. Hey, Shalom, Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we have been teaching the truth according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We back in here one more time with this 1 West perspective. We on episode 8 of the 1 West perspective right now. You know what I'm saying? We've been walking this thing on down. You know what I mean? It's the first one since the Passover, man. You know what I mean? So definitely want to give it up for y'all rocking out with us for another episode of the 1 West perspective. You know what I mean? And if you don't know, the 1 West perspective is where we take complicated topics that affect our people, break them down and give them a 1 West perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody thinks they know what's going on and what the answers are. Maybe they think that there are no answers and nobody has them. This show tells you that there are answers and that the Lord has given the answers to the priests and prophets. And we here breaking it down and giving it to you in day-to-day language, man. You know what I'm saying? We here breaking it down and giving it to you in a language that you can understand. Because your Christian pastor ain't going to talk about all of these topics that we talking about today. Your Christian pastor going to talk about, what are you going to talk about? Nothing? You know what I'm saying? What's your Christian pastor going to talk about? Nothing at all. Nothing that affects us today. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that's in our community. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that affects us. So who is going to be left to do that? The priests and prophets of the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General YAHANNA, man. You know what I'm saying? I got Priest and Officer 500 Picard in here with us, man. Shalom, Adawan. You in here? Can you hear us?
Come, I'm in here rocking and rolling with y'all, man. Yeah. I hear everything you saying, man. And yeah, we finna break this thing down, man.
Yeah, all right, sir. Yeah, all right. We're finna rock it on out, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, make sure y'all get in here, get your drink, get your notes, Get your whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Get comfortable, sit up, pull up a chair. We're gonna rock out for about another for about an hour or so, man, just touching these topics, man. You know what I'm saying? So get with us, let us know, man. You know what I mean? So on the first topic of the day, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy talking about the Iran war, you know what I mean? Because that's the door, you feel me, the doorway into World War III. And that's been prophesied in these scriptures. And the fact that we are actually on the footsteps, on the doorsteps of this World War III, it's a beautiful thing because it's been prophesied and this is what's going to happen. So I was reading a story earlier this week on one where they were talking about China is the winner right now of this Iranian war. You know what I'm saying? They saying China has prepared for this war and they are the ones that's winning this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all viewers feel about it, but that's what they say. They say China is the one that's winning. I was reading a report. So like when they talked about China's GDP has grown, you know what I mean? And since the war started, you know what I'm saying? I know America's GDP has fallen, if I'm not mistaken, as energy prices have increased and that price at the pump has increased. You know what I'm saying? Our GDP is starting to drop. China, on the other hand, is seeing some benefits from this war, man. China is seeing that, okay, maybe they was in the right. You know what I mean? But to be fair, to be completely fair, we don't give a damn about China neither. You know what I'm saying? We don't give a damn about Iran, America, China, Russia. None of them. None of them do we align ourselves with. Israel for sure. The nation of Israel, the country, I say it like that, the country of Israel, we do not align ourselves with them, man. You know what I mean? We ain't with them. We don't stand with them. We not together with them. Even though you might see they rock a Jewish star around their neck, we rock a Magun Dawadah around ours, and this is something totally different. You know what I mean? When they represent something totally different. The one that they wear around their neck represents the destruction of our people and the destruction of our brothers, Hispanics and natives, man. They represent the destruction of that. But these represent the rising of our people, man. You know what I mean? That song I just played was Kwam Yasha Allah, which means rise, Israel. And we talking about us, man, blacks, Hispanics, and natives. So listen, when we start talking about China, we start talking about Russia and all these things, we just waiting on the downfall of these people, man. Because we know the Lord is going to do that. The Lord has heard our cry. He done heard our people being destroyed and our people being abused by these nations. And know that we are in need of salvation, man. Know that we are in need of that, you know what I mean? That salvation, that protection. That's what we need, man. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to real quick, man, to talk about how they benefit and America is not. I think I heard Trump say he was going to start putting in a blockade over there at the Strait of Hormuz. Did you hear about that?
Hey, can you hear me?
Go.
Okay, yeah. So I was trying to go back to what you said earlier. Break down what a GDP is. The GDP.
That GDP is your gross domestic product. That's your gross domestic product. That tells you how well your society is doing compared to all the other nations in the world. That's what the GDP is all about. That gross domestic product is telling us how good your stock is inside your country. America has a GDP of a certain value. You know what I mean? I can pull it up and see what America's GDP is right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that's speaking in like terms of oil, you know what I'm saying, as far as like our livestock, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, different like you said, raw materials or whatnot, wheat,
right,
things of that nature.
Go, yeah. It's like let me cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no. I was just letting you break it down. So
yeah, no, come. That's what the GDP is. That gross domestic product is the total monetary value of all goods, all final goods and services produced in a country's borders, right? In a specific time period. That's the definition of GDP, gross domestic product. And every country has some value that they give on. It's a scorecard, basically, of how your country is doing overall. And what we're seeing is that while all these other nations' GDP, their scores are going down, China's is actually coming up. I'm gonna try to see if I can find that. You feel me? The chart. I'm gonna try to see if I can find that chart real quick, and I'm gonna share it here. So, go ahead, other one.
Oh no, I was just, I just wanted to break that down, just in layman terms, you know what I'm saying, for all of us that may not be, up on that terminology and all these analogies and
Good.
whatever you call it, acronyms or whatever the case may be. You know, I just wanted to make sure everybody was abreast, you know, to that, because sometimes when we're watching these political shows, they use a lot of terms, you know, saying that if we put some thought into it, we'll know what they were saying. But, you know, sometimes we just hear that and just be like, I don't know what the hell they talking about. We move on.
Right.
So, you know, I just wanted to make sure everybody was on top of that. That's all. But yeah, man, you know, it makes sense though, because you know, while we spending our resources, you know what I'm saying, here in America, shooting down $20,000 drones, you know what I'm saying, using millions of dollars to shoot down drones or whatnot that's worth 20,000 or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So of course, you know, I mean, it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And China, they still doing their thing, and you know that they're not engaged, so to speak, in the physical war, but they're winning it, you know, through economics. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. And so, you know, hey man, all that stuff is a part of war. It's a part of, you know, any conflict. And so China just sitting back getting strong, becoming a fat rat, you know what I'm saying, while the United States is, you know, trying to flex, you know. So hey, that's how it goes.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, now for sure. I don't want, like, that's how it be, because like China, and I don't know if people have been paying attention, if brothers been paying attention to China over the past couple of years, man, for the past decade or so. Like, China has been quietly growing and quietly positioning themselves to be a superpower in this world, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't pay attention to China until I heard Akon was putting lights through Africa, right? That was the story that came out. I don't know if brothers remember that, man. If brothers and sisters remember, that was the story that came out, had to have been at least 10, 15 years ago, when Akon was giving lights to Africa. He was putting lights and running electricity throughout Africa. Now, the first thing that came to my mind is, now this is Akon. Akon is a rapper. How is a rapper giving lights to a continent, not even a country, a continent? He is able to give lights to a whole continent? That piqued my curiosity to hear that Akon is able to give the continent of Africa lights and giving multiple countries these lights. So as I dug into it a little bit, I saw that the financier behind the lights that Akon was putting in Africa was China. China was the one that was giving all of these countries the money to facilitate these lights and facilitate these industrial improvements. You know what I'm saying? And what does that do? That puts Africa in debt to China. That puts Africa in debt to China, being ushered in by Akon, right? Being ushered in by this political head that you call Akon now. And what China is also doing in all these other places like Venezuela, right? Why Venezuela was so big, China has a program where they loan money to a country, and they call it a debt for oil agreement, that they will loan money to Venezuela, or they will loan infrastructure to different countries. Maybe this country, I know Taiwan ain't one of them, but it's like a country like Taiwan, they would loan that money to them, and that country would have to give China the oil. And so they would give them that money to help that country build up their infrastructure, and that country like Venezuela would give China the oil. And that way, China has become a superpower and not have been so dependent on that Gulf oil. The GCC, those Gulf countries down there, those Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and all those countries that are in that Gulf with the Strait of Hormuz, you got to understand that those are the people, the conglomerate that's making all the money right now, with America assisting and Israel assisting, right? So China has been finding ways to go around the Gulf, to find ways to go around these Gulf GCC nations and go around America to make their oil and make sure they good. So now they've got to a point where, all right, you shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Like we talked about on this show previously, 20% of the world's oil comes out this Strait of Hormuz. And 20% now is a big factor when Iran shuts that down. But since China has positioned themselves to prepare for this day, That's why they're the only ones that's benefiting right now. While everybody's suffering, China has benefiting. Because I believe it said in late, like Q4 last year, they said that we want to start putting a 15% increase our hold of oil that we produce in country by like 15%. So they gave them a surplus. So when the Hormuz shut down, they was good. They sat back and just ate the oil that they had already in place. So yeah, China ahead of the game on this one, man. China's ahead of the game, and they're the ones that everybody's gonna have to look out for because they are definitely becoming a superpower if you didn't know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Some years back, man, when I was playing with stocks and stuff, man. Hey, man, I seen China on the what you call it, SDAC or whatever you call that jazz, man. But I seen them on there, you know, doing my little Robin Hood thing or whatever the case may be. Hell, I invested some money inside China, a little energy program, man. Shit, yeah, I had did that shit probably about 5 years ago, man, because I can see the writing on the wall. But unfortunately, with me being a poor man, you know what I'm saying, I be pulling stocks out a little early. So that's just, you know, something that I do.
Right.
But I could see the writing on the wall. I said, hey man, everybody talking about China and how they economic value is increasing. I mean, if that's the case, you know, why not invest some money inside a little energy program, man? So yeah, man, this been a ongoing thing that's been going on for a while now. You know what I'm saying? As far as China being becoming a economic power inside the earth, and they've been having all the types of proxy wars around the earth, man. It's a lot of them down there in Mexico. There's a lot of them down on the continent of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So they have been moving around, man, putting a lot of infrastructure up in a lot of different other places. So it's one of those things, man, where you gotta just understand and just stay 10 toes down, you know what I'm saying, on the earth, and just know what's going on out here. You know, so China has been one of those powers that have been, gaining traction, man. It's part of the game. They've been gaining traction left and right. I mean, you look at a lot of the stuff that you got, you know what I'm saying, is either saying made in China or made in Taiwan. You know, at some point in time, now that might have changed, you know what I'm saying, lately, but hell, they still got all the money that they was acquiring up until that point. And you know, Akon, he making all this money over here. You gotta understand. It's just like, you know, the inflation thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to explain this the best way I can. Like when I take my dollar that I make down south, I take it up north, it's not worth as much, you know what I'm saying, because of the cost of living. Now you got somebody from up north that moves down south, they making $30, $40 an hour, you know what I'm saying, for doing something that I make $20 out of. Their dollar stretches further down south because it costs living down here. Now imagine taking that money to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, you're gonna be able to do a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna go a little further. Then you got a big dog over there that's you know what I'm saying, backing you up even more. You know what I'm saying? Like if you put in 10, they putting in another 10. Hey, man, you might can supply a continent. Who knows? So yeah, man.
Right. Yeah, that's the biggest part that America been complaining about is like the consumerism that's going on inside our community. It's like that's going on inside of the nation of America is that we consume so many goods. We get all our clothes from China. We get all our shoes from China. We get our glasses. We get our, you know what I mean, our day-to-day goods come from China. And even now, you see cars that are made by China, which are starting to rival those luxury cars like your Mercedes. That's starting to rival your BMWs. That's starting to rival these different things. And now America's going to start consuming that because China has become such a power. And people forget that China is like, you know what I mean? That it's not a third world country. You know what I mean? China has been around for a long time. And again, like I said in the beginning, we don't align ourselves with China because China, these Chinese folks in America, you see how they treat our people. You know what I mean? They still are disgusting bastards to our people, so we don't align ourselves with them. But what we're not going to do is not pay attention to how they are handling themselves so we know how, you know what I mean, how we need to handle ourselves around them. You know what I'm saying? That's the big part. but America ain't smart enough to know that. You got a president in power right now that is not he's not highly intelligent. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't really. I don't think he got all. You know what they say? He a few knives short of a full drawer right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He ain't got everything together over
He ain't got all his lights on upstairs. You know, he's
That's
not
right.
the sharp. He's not the
That's
sharpest
right.
tack in the pack. You know, he's a few cards short of a deck. You know, yeah. You know, dumb as
That's
a
right.
box of rocks. You
That's right.
know, whichever one you want to go with, man. You know,
That's right. He all of them plus more. You know what I'm saying?
there you go.
And because of that, like a lot of times you see that, you know what I mean? That's why America being represented like it's being represented, man. But this is what I will say. This is what I say, and I leave it alone. The Lord is the one that's doing these things. The Lord is the one that's moving these pieces and putting these puzzle pieces together, man. That's saying like, all right, I want this power. I want China to be greater. I want Russia to be great. Let's give these heathens the idea to reserve their oil so they can become a greater power. And that, you know what I mean? Like all these things happen so the Most High can destroy them. You know what I'm saying? He ain't giving them these things so they can be great and just be that. He's giving them these things so he can destroy them, just like he did in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Just like he allowed Pharaoh to get hired. He allowed Pharaoh to get rich. And then what he do? He hardened his heart. So he couldn't turn. So he couldn't get right. He hardened his heart so he would not forgive Moses and allow his people to go. So he could be greater and greater and then be destroyed. That's how the Most High worked. The Most High is not a soft being, man. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is not a soft, gentle giant. You know what I'm saying? The Most High God is a gangster. And he is moving these pieces around so that his people can be free at the end of the day and that they don't ever have to move a muscle. These nations going to destroy each other so bad that we don't have to move a muscle, man. The scriptures tell you that the scriptures tell you that when we left out of Egypt, they was giving them money, giving them jewels, giving them all of these things so they could leave and be good when they were out in the wilderness. They wasn't doing that because of the kindness of their heart. He was doing it because the Most High God has put them in a position where they had to do that. And that's what you see happening right now. That's why we applaud World War III. Let Donald Trump do what he's doing, man. I'm not going to stop him. Let him do what he's doing because he's just doing what the Most High God would have him do, man. You know what I
Yeah. Well, I guess Bird, man, he ain't the number one stunner after all. I guess the Most High is the number one stunner. You know. See how
That's right. That's right.
he let you get nice, big, and fat, and just so he can, you know, come shine on you. So China about to get shined on, Israel about to get shined, the United States about to get, all of them about to get shined on. So yeah,
Damn
that's how
right,
that's
sir.
gonna go.
Damn right, sir. Damn right. Shit, man, I'm gonna jump off that. Let me go and get to these stories, man. I just want to touch on that real quick because you know these oppressors, you know what I mean? They think America is great, but they learning that they are not as great as they thought they were. And they need to learn that they some disgusting bastards, man. Because what this situation with Ashley Janae, I'm gonna play a story real quick, man, just to show y'all how devious and how devilish these people are and why we should not align ourselves to them, man. So let me go on and share this story real quick. And we're gonna I'm gonna play a little bit of this story real quick, and then we're gonna you know what I mean, break it down. Select. It's like, okay, can you hear the story over there?
I cannot.
Hold on, let me see what's going on. Oh shit. Let me there we go. You should be able to hear a little bit more now.
And now the details on the investigation into the death of Ashley Robinson. Her family is demanding answers after the influencer from South Jersey was found dead during a trip to Africa where she had just been engaged. Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne joining us live in the Satellite Center with more on this heartbreaking story. Cheyenne.
Alicia, well, Ashley Robinson, she actually was raised.
Is it coming through now?
And now
the death of Ashley. And now the details on the investigation into the death of Ashley Robinson. Her family is demanding answers after the influencer from South Jersey was found dead during a trip to Africa where she had just been engaged. Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne joining us live in the Satellite Center with more on this heartbreaking story. Cheyenne.
Alicia, well,
so you heard what they said, right? The story of Ashley Janae, right? She was just got married. She just got engaged to her Edomite boyfriend. He popped her the question, but she was found dead days after, they went to Africa. And now the oppressive boyfriend, the Edomite boyfriend, fiance, came back to the States by himself without Ashley Janae, his fiance. And that's what the story is that we're going to break down right now. If y'all heard about this story, man, put it in the chat. Put it in the comment section if y'all heard about this story. Let me know what y'all think about it. The number one question we was asking yesterday when we was out in the streets, we was asking, do you think interracial relationships are beneficial to blacks, Hispanics, and natives? Or is that detrimental? Is that destroying us? Is it destroying our people, man? So we asked a couple of people and got some feedback from them. Let me know what y'all think. Put it in the comment box, man. If y'all watching, man, put it in the comment box. Let me know what y'all got to say. I'm going to play the rest of the story.
Ashley Robinson, she actually was raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death in Zanzibar is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware, who say they aren't getting answers from her fiance or officials in Tanzania about what happened to her.
Uncertainty, mystery, anger, sadness. It's like a part of me has been taken away.
On April 5th, influencer Ashley Robinson, who goes by Ashley Janae on social media, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before.
We believe that they were in love. We believe that their relationship was genuine.
Ashley's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week later, her daughter would be dead. On April 8th, she says Ashley called, saying she and her fiance got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiance.
He told me that Ashley did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury hotel
Hey, not to stop you talking, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, so like it. So you see what's going on, right? So you see that they Slagged. She had a boyfriend of a year. He popped the question. They went to Africa. They had a good time. They had an argument while they was in Africa. She called her mama and said, hey, we had an argument. We finna move into separate rooms. And then the next phone call this mother gets is from this oppressor fiance that something has happened to your daughter.
Hey, man, I want to say something real quick. This is the importance. First of all, this is why y'all should be listening to the I.S.U.P.K, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because I hear Kevin Tazaria say this all the time. Before you get with somebody, like before y'all join together, what I'm saying, from a worldly perspective, before y'all start having sex, y'all need to have an argument. You know what I'm saying? So the purpose of that is to pull out that demon,
right?
You know what I'm saying, from each person. You understand? She probably didn't even know that this guy was violent, that he would turn violent, you know what I'm saying, after an argument. You know what I'm saying? She thinking, okay, we 10 toes down now. We finna get married, so hey man, it's just an argument. Not knowing that she's dealing with Freddy Krueger. You understand?
Right.
Another thing is, man, as far as the interracial thing goes, man, what they gotta understand, what people in the world gotta understand, is that white man does not understand you, and you do not understand that white man.
Right.
Okay. He don't understand your mouth. He don't understand that. He hear that and he think you need to go. You know what I'm saying? It's time for you to go. Fiance or not. Hey, you ain't finna talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. And of course, you know what I'm saying, you can break up the argument that, hey, black men, hey, they do unalive black women. It happens. But you know what I'm saying? It's usually not for something so simple. It's a little bit more complicated than that. And then we ain't
Right.
finna hang you in no room. We ain't gonna hang
That's
you in
right.
no room. We ain't
That's
going out
right.
like that. And 9 times out of 10, we gonna get caught. I don't even think, this has got no justice yet. But yeah, go ahead.
No, come on, sir. What you saying is so heavy. Like that's the thing about it, man. Like you gotta know a black woman, man. A black woman is a magnificent creature, man. She's a magnificent creature, and she has all of the abilities to be wonderful and positive and all this shit. But the problem is she's been destroyed, like black men in America. We've both been destroyed. So now our wonderful, magnificent creatures have a way to say some stuff. I won't cuss out of one. You know what I'm saying? I give my language to God. They have some ways to say some stuff that get under your skin. And you know what I mean? If you're not, if you're a weaker man, you're gonna respond in a way that's not positive. If you get what I'm saying, that mouth on our sisters, it can be a terrible thing. The mouth on our sisters can be a terrible thing that can either breathe life into you or it can breathe death into you. And you got to be a strong enough man and a strong enough brother to say, this is my sister. And we understand this, right? In our community, we understand that. We understand that I'm just whatever. You feel me? We know how to deal with it. We know what's going on with her right now. We know she might just need a little bit of rod right now. You know what I'm saying? That rod gonna calm all that down and she gonna be good. Or whatever the case may be with your rib, you know what it is. But what the brother was saying, what the other one is saying, that these oppressors don't know. These oppressors don't know these black women. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know about all the struggles these black women going through. They don't understand the struggles black women having on their job. They don't understand the struggles these black women having when they just go to the grocery store. The struggles they have when they get pulled over by the police and they got their children in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? I remember, it's like it was just a little sidebar. I remember when my rib was taking we had just had our daughter. We had a nice car, and she was taking my daughter to the doctor or something like that while I was at the slave. And the white man pulled her over, and he started to accost her and ask her questions like, "Where you get this car from?" You know what I mean? Because it was a nice car, and you know what I mean. Dug in the back seat and went into my woman's purse to get, because she had a purse in the back seat. Dug into her purse without asking, without even talking to her, and dug through it and got the ID from out the purse for her. Because that's how these oppressors are. And I just brought that up to say that these sisters deal with a lot of things, and because of that, they destroyed in this nation. You know what I'm saying? It's like I kind of got off on the sidebar right there. But going back to the point, that's how we know that we should be in the I.S.U.P.K. and listen to these men that telling you how to deal with these oppressors and how to deal with these Edomites and how to deal with these other nations. Because once you realize that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of, you know how to deal with him. I know I'm not going to give my trust to them. I'm not going to open myself up to any type of, angle where they can get to me and attack me and my people, man. You know what I'm saying? So like y'all the one, I kind of got sidetracked on that, but that was kind of what I wanted to bring out.
No, you good, man. Like I want to add another point to what you were saying. Just because you get with another race of people, you don't magically not turn black anymore. Okay?
Right.
And so being that you don't magically turn black, you still have to deal with the fact that you are black. And you know what I'm saying? And they don't understand that. They think, well, I'm not gonna say they don't understand that, but what I am gonna say is that oppression is gonna follow you wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? The stigma of you being black is gonna follow you everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time, this white man was probably looking at, I know this nigga ain't talking to me like that. Nigga, you should be grateful. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, if it had been a brother, you know what I'm saying, he might have just been like, just like you said, hey man, let her cool down for a minute. They separate the rooms. Shoot, they ain't gonna be separated all night. That brother finna go over there and take care of business and wake up and everything gonna be all good. You gonna see him down there in the lobby eating breakfast together. You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying? That's
That's right.
how it's gonna rock out. So a lot of times we think, you know what I'm saying, just like you gave the example of your wife in a nice car, and you know what I'm saying, and y'all are upstanding citizens, I know. You know what I'm saying? But because they see y'all in a nice car, the stigma that's placed on black people, you know, is like, hey nigga, how the hell you get this car? Where the dope
Right.
at? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's just like my mother was in some type of bank, you know what I'm saying, the other day, man, and it was a sister that was the teller and tried to accuse my mother of fraud. You
Hmm.
understand? And so my 60-something-year-old mother, you know what I'm saying, of fraud.
Right.
My mother is not a criminal. You
Right.
understand me? When I tell you my mother's not a criminal, she's not a criminal. You understand? And so this is the stigma that's placed on us no matter where we go. And so I'm saying that to say this. Just because you get with the opposite well, get with another race, another nation of people, it's not going to erase who you are. You're
Right.
still black.
That's right.
Understand that. You can't marry yourself into another race. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna still be black.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Damn right. Damn right. Heavy, man. Because that's the big part, right? Like the big part, what Jay-Z was saying. I remember I gotta say Jay-Z because like you ain't gonna believe me. They ain't gonna believe us when we say it. So I gotta use Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z had that
Go
song,
ahead.
Still a Nigga. You know what I'm saying? He had that
Yeah.
song, even though you got a Benz or you got a big house, you still a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Even though you've put yourself in a better situation where you've raised yourselves out of the depths of the projects to the Upper East Side, you still a nigga. At the end of the day, that's
Hey,
how they're gonna look at you. At the
hey,
end of
not
the day,
shy.
go ahead, son.
Hey, I'll bring it back down south. Trick Daddy.
Right,
You got 3 houses and a PhD, you're still a nigga. You from the island, your people wasn't slave, you still a nigga. You know, that
right,
was on that America. You know what I'm saying? If your
right,
skin is brown just like me, you still a nigga. Need 3 IDs for a traffic stop because you a nigga. Man, let me tell you
right.
something. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
not
right.
anything new. You know what I'm saying? Like I always go back to the black codes. I like to talk about the black codes because the black codes are laws. You know, going through the hood when I was young, I used to see signs that I don't see anywhere else. And a lot of people blame it on the dope game, but it was way before the dope game. You
Right,
know, you see signs and things on front of buildings, words on front of buildings. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna say something like "no loitering." You know what I'm saying? And that means there's no standing around, and that comes directly from what was it was a result of emancipation. A lot of black people didn't have anywhere to go.
right,
Like you see our brothers, you know what I'm saying, Israelite brothers hanging out at Home Depot or at stores and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of brothers and sisters that were doing the same thing when they was coming out of slavery because they didn't have anywhere to go. And they was
right.
hanging out so they could be available for work. You know what I'm saying? Available for this, available for that. So lottery is not something that came along with the dope game. Lottery is something that came along with the oppression that America put on our people. And
That's right.
that right there was part of the black code. So I think people should know and understand that, you know, a lot of these laws and stuff, you can't escape who you are. Basically
That's
what
right.
I'm trying to say. Salaki.
That's right. Damn right, sir. Damn right. And you know, I was reading man, you know, what it's so interesting you brought that up because even this week, I was reading a story about that same topic about when the Emancipation Proclamation came out and they allowed blacks, Hispanics, and blacks and Hispanics to go free from slavery. That they had all these codes and laws that they put on because they knew that when they was arrested, they could take those bodies and use them to build America. Use those bodies to dig in the coal mines. Dig in Birmingham, Alabama. In Birmingham, Alabama, they were using prison slave labor at the Sloss furnace, at the furnaces down there in Birmingham. Those furnaces down in Birmingham utilize prison labor to become great. to become what they are today. What you see, it's like they call what Birmingham was the Pittsburgh of the South. That came off of the backs of blacks and Hispanics in prisons, and then they were loaned out for hours, for dollars and pennies, like pennies for a day. You understand what I'm saying? When they first started, the statistic that they said, when they first started doing slave labor in the South, in Alabama, they made that first year, it was $14,000, right? And this is in that money at that time. It was $14,000 that they made that first year. The very next year, they had made over what I think it was like $300,000. You translate that to today's time, they were making millions of dollars off the backs of blacks and Hispanics, even though this is after slavery. They were making millions off the backs of blacks because of these laws that they gave. They was given of loitering laws of you got to have a job. If you didn't have a job and you was a black man out here walking around, you had to have a job. If you didn't, you was going to prison. And you wasn't going to prison for 30 days.
Vagrancy?
Go ahead, sir.
What was it called? Vagrancy or something like that?
Yeah, vagrancy. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a vagrancy law. So that meant that if you was out here walking around, you had to have a job. And if you didn't, you was going to prison. And it wasn't for 30, 60 days. They was giving you decades in prison for vagrancy. So they could utilize you to build up these systems, utilize you to build up the nation of America, man. So when they talk about why don't blacks pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, this is the reason why black people are in the situation that they're in right now. You didn't pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You depended on the free labor that you got out of black people to pull yourself up, man, to build up these industries. And you want me to pull myself up by my bootstraps? Listen, man, trying not to cuss today. Otherwise, I said I was gonna try to do better with the cussing, man. But I'm getting a little frustrated right now, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with letting it fly a little bit from time to time, man. You know.
Go good. Yeah, man. And then that's why it's so crazy to me that sisters want to go out here and date a white man, knowing the history that we have. Knowing the history. I'm gonna pull up some texts, some comments that this sister Ashley Janae made. What happened to the sister was terrible. And we gotta learn from what that sister did. So I'm gonna share this tab real quick and I'm gonna share my screen real quick so y'all can see some of the comments the sister made, because it was terrible comments, man. It tells you that the sister was definitely confused and definitely was not in her, you know what I mean? Let me get to it real quick. Yeah, just a couple of comments the sister made. One of them was that every day black men wake up and find new ways to embarrass us. That was a comment the sister made. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, I had another one over here I wanted to pull up real quick. The sister said, she said, since the third grade, she knew her baby was gonna be mixed. You know what I mean? She knew she wasn't gonna have a child with a black man. Since the third grade, she knew this. Listen, man, our people destroyed in America. We destroyed in America, man.
She knew she wasn't gonna have no nigga. She knew she wasn't gonna have no nigga since the third grade.
Go God, she knew in the third grade she wasn't gonna be with no nigga at all. That tell you right there, what kind of mother did this person have, sir? That's what I gotta ask. What was your mama like? What was your mama like?
You know what?
How did she treat your daddy?
I would ask another question along with that. Where did she grow up at? And the reason why I'm asking this question right here is because a lot of times, and don't get it twisted, man, I understand this. I get it, and I know what you're trying to do. But a lot of people think, nah, my children ain't growing up in Pratt City. My children ain't growing up in West End, which they some rough places. So you take them to Hoover and Mountain Brook, you know what I'm saying, Vestavia or whatnot. But they go there, and you don't take them back to their grandma's house, right, so they can stay grounded. You don't take them back to West End to the grandma's house so they can play with their cousins. Right. And so they lose track of who they are, and they start hating what looks like them. Right. They want to be a part of, you know, what they're around every day. And so they look at a black man or a black woman, if they a man, and be like, man, I don't want nothing to do with that right there. You know what I'm saying? That's that ghetto shit. I want
Right.
me, you know what I'm saying, the type of girl that I see every day at school, or the type of
Right.
man that I see every day at school. You know, when you're doing stuff like that, you gotta understand what type of situation you putting your child in. Not to
Right.
mention that you think you're gonna get them away from bullying. No, you're not getting them away from bullying. You are bringing them to a whole nother type of bullying,
That's
which
right.
is racism. You know what I'm saying? They got plenty of life where they're gonna have to deal with racism, man. You don't have to
Right.
pour them right into it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't
That's
have to
right.
go to an all white school to experience racism. You know what I'm saying? So why would I send my son to a school like that? What is going to tear him down mentally?
That's right.
And what you see right here is a sister that, you know what I'm saying, has been destroyed mentally, man. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? That's
God.
all I can say about that.
Oh God. 100%, man. 100%. I can tell you, man, you know, confession good for the soul. My high school I went to, the second high school I went to, like for my last senior year, like the first half of my junior year, I think, right? What is it? Freshman, sophomore, yeah, junior. The second half of my junior year, it was a white school. It was all white school. Like I think in my graduating class, I think we had maybe 200 people that graduated in my class, my senior class. I think we might have had 3 black people in my senior class, including myself. Including myself. I think it might have been 3 niggas in the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, the school I went to prior to that, it was a black school. You know what I mean? The school I went to prior to that was a black school. And then I went to a black HBCU for college. So I know I needed that. You know what I'm saying? Because I needed that reset after being in that white school. Like, you get in that white school, that should do a number on you, man. That does a number on you psychologically to a child. That child doesn't even realize it's happening to him. And I'm sure my mother and father didn't know what was happening to me psychologically. Because I remember going from Lee High School, which was a city right here on the north, kind of east side of Huntsville, which was a black school, where we celebrated Black History Month, where we celebrated, we talked about Martin Luther King, not saying that these are anybody, but at least we talked about the black experience. Then I went out to the high school, to the white high school out in Hazel Green. We never talked about Black History Month. We never talked about Martin Luther King. We never talked about Malcolm X and none of that. That never was a discussion in that high school. That was, and Black History Month came, February 1st came, there was nothing that talked about Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you gotta teach your child who you are. Your child has to learn that. But you should know before your child leaves your house, they should know who black people are. And you should teach them that blacks and Hispanics are in this book right here. That black people are in this book, and that the greatest man to ever walk the earth, which was YAHANNA, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, was a black man from the tribe of Judah. That's who you should really teach your child. Before they leave your house, you should teach them that, so they don't fall into the trap that Ashley and Janae fell into. That's what you should do. You should definitely do that. For your child, leave the house, they should know that that's who you are, that you have value inside of you, that your brothers and your sisters are valuable people, and that you should love your people, that you should honor your people. You should look out for your people, and that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. That should happen before your child leaves the house. That should be a requirement. I don't want in my zone, I don't want it. The Lord allowed me to have a zone. I'm going to make sure in every elementary school, they know that you got to, before you can graduate from 5th grade, you got to know that the white man is the devil, and the black man, that Christ is black, that God is black, the prophets in the Bible was black, and that you are the only people that matter on this earth, and not that white man. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
That's going to be a
real.
requirement before you even leave elementary school. You know what I'm saying? So that way we don't have stuff like this happen. You know what I mean?
That's real. We got to be extreme like that, man, because the number that they ran on us was extreme. So you can't beat extremes with being passive. You got to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, it's just one of those things, man. So as much as people would not like to hear it, I mean, these are the things that must be done, because you know what I'm saying, the extremities that we face in the world every day, is on a whole nother level, and it's a lot deeper than what a lot of people even think. You know, so lucky.
All right, sir. All right. Shit, I think we got time for probably one more story. I had a couple stories pulled up. What you think, sir? You want to talk about Boosie? Or you want to talk about Pooh Shiesty and Gucci?
Shit, I think we could tie both of them in, man, because they, you know what? Thinking about it, both of them, man, boils down to niggas thinking that they keeping it 2G. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They thinking they 2G, man. Like, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, my nigga, some stuff just don't even mix, dog. Like, but you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm gonna let you go ahead and hit it off, man, with the stores or whatever store you want to rock with.
Okay, sir. We're gonna talk about Gucci. We talked about World War III. We talked about interracial relationships. Let's talk about Gucci. Let's talk about Gucci and Pooh Shiesty. That way we can show how eclectic the One West perspective is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's real.
Let me pull this tab up real quick. We're gonna play the story right here. Boom, 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 boom. We're not gonna do that one. We're gonna do that one right there. So yeah, so everybody, y'all, before I go into the story, everybody has heard about Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane, right? Everybody heard that Pooh Shiesty kidnapped Gucci and made him sign the release of his contract, and now Gucci they saying Gucci snitched. They saying Gucci snitched on Pooh Shiesty, got Pooh Shiesty locked up. They saying that, you know what I mean? That's what they saying. And the question is, did Gucci snitch or did he not? Right? That's the question that everybody asking. But for those that haven't heard the story, I'm gonna play a little bit of this article and then we're gonna go into it.
9 suspects involved in the robbery and kidnapping of rapper Gucci Mane have been arrested. Officials say the alleged.
Yeah, so like I know y'all, you know, I like to play my videos on times too, so I can, you know what I mean, consume the content faster. I'll slow it down for everybody.
9 suspects involved in the robbery and kidnapping of rapper Gucci Mane have been arrested. Officials say the alleged ringleader behind the attack was rapper Pooh Shiesty. Our Preseda Olguin has been on top of this story and has the latest.
Aside from learning that the 9th and final suspect has been arrested, we've been able to obtain video which shows the FBI at Pooh Shiesty's home the day he was arrested. Take a look at that video. This happened in Memphis. Federal authorities say Shiesty was the ringleader behind the attack on Gucci Mane here in Dallas. That incident happened back in January at a music studio located off Dallas Parkway. The DOJ says Gucci Mane and 2 others were allegedly kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint. They say 9 people were involved, including Pooh Shiesty's father and Big 30. For background, Pooh Shiesty signed on to Gucci Mane's record label back in 2020. And according to the DOJ, Pooh Shiesty is the one who set up the meeting to discuss his recording contract.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items.
Pooh Shiesty was released from federal prison in October and was placed on home confinement for a previous conviction, meaning that it's likely he was wearing an ankle monitor at the time of the crime. Officials say all 9 suspects will be transported here to North Texas, where they will face their crimes. Now, if convicted, each suspect can face life in prison. For now, reporting in Dallas, Preseda Olguin, CBS News, Texas.
So what you say, man? You say that you say Gucci Mane snitch, man. What you say about that, sir? You think Gucci snitched on him? Is that snitch?
Also tonight,
Well,
a very dramatic story. You gotta listen to this one. Justice Department is laying out the details.
Okay, yeah, I obviously said that video was playing. I'd have to ask another question, man. At what point in time can a man grow up? You know what I'm saying? At what point in time can a man just be a man? You know what I'm saying? It just leave. Can a man walk away from the streets? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not have to be that. Okay, for example, the average street guy, he don't have no insurance, right? They just keep it a buck. But if
Right.
you got car insurance and you get in a car accident, you ain't got car insurance just to chalk it up. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
what? You ain't gonna call the police or file your police report or whatever on your car insurance or whatever the case may be. I mean, we hold rappers to a lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, and to a standard that they shouldn't even be held to in the first place, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? These guys are entertainers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Right.
Gucci might have had his foot in the streets or whatever the case may be. I really don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Denzel Washington is the equalizer. You know what I'm saying? He's you know what I'm saying? You got Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's Terminator, or whatever the case may be. I mean, come on, man. It's all entertainment. At the end of the
Right.
day, Gucci was called down there to do a business deal. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to do some music. And precisely, you know, thinking that he can, you know, mix this with the streets and all that other jazz. I don't understand the thinking, but I do know how it feels to be young. You know what I'm saying? I can understand a young mindset, but you know what I'm saying? That was just not the proper way to do things. You understand
Right.
me? What was Gucci Man supposed to do? Load up a whole bunch of choppers and go slide? Come on,
Right.
man. I mean, you know, this is the end of that, man. You know, at the end of the day, everybody's gonna have their opinions. You know, I don't even play them type of games, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck from a what do you call it, a practical, you know what I'm saying, perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna look at stuff and be like, hey, yeah, man, he was supposed to whoop the whoop, man. Come on, man. Man, we grown
Right.
men. Gucci
That's
older
right.
than me. You feel me?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I mean, goddamn, at what point in time can a man just walk off and just be a man? Do he have to be
That's right.
2004 Gucci? Do he have to be that all his life? Y'all don't
Right.
want this man to do no better. There's always got to be something that's pulling you back into the streets. I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you
man.
right now, he ain't finna pull me back into the streets, bro. Hey,
Oh God.
I got a temple and everything too, but hey, at the end of the day, bro, you not finna hey, I'm not going out like no Willie Lump Lump, bro. You're not gonna do me like that. I mean, I'm filing my insurance claim, bro. And if I wasn't going to file my insurance claim, I would not be paying monthly for the insurance.
That's right.
Come on, now.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know, man. You know what you think about it?
Now I'm with you, all one. I'm with you. General Muhammad said it best the other night. He said, the street code protects the villains. The street code of no snitching protects those that are doing the evil. That's destroying and tormenting and hurting people, basically is what General Muhammad was saying. Like what stays in this house, what goes on in this house stays in this house protects the child predators. You know what I'm saying? Those snitching, those street codes are not in place to protect the innocent. Those street codes are not there to protect those that have been harmed. So those street codes are nothing. Those are nothing, man. So I agree with what you're saying. So like, brother, the Gucci man, 46 years old, man. That brother, he's the same age as my brother. I wouldn't dare see my brother go out in these streets and sell some dope and, you know what I mean, have to live that life. That brother damn near 50 years old, man. He got to be allowed to be 50, man. He got to be allowed to be a businessman. You know what I'm saying? I think we put too much on the imagination, like you said, with Denzel Washington being the what you said, equalizer, or being the detective from Training Day. That is not Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is not the nigga from Training Day. Gucci Mane is no longer the dope boy that he was in Trap House. Trap House was a great album, but the brother is 50 years old now, and he is not living that life. The life Gucci Mane live now is one of, man, I'm laid up with my rib right now. I'm laid up with my woman right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm raising my kids right now. That's the life that Gucci Mane should be living right now, not being kidnapped by some 26-year-old brother, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is my problem too, sir. The fact that Gucci, the fact that Shiesty daddy was there with him. Again, it goes back to how destroyed we are in this nation. The fact that your father was there to support you while you doing what you're doing. Like, we ain't got no guidance out here, man. All of our leaders are terrible leaders now, man. Nobody is telling us, nah, young man, don't do that. Nah, let's not do it like that. Let's do it this way. My father been dead 4 years. I'm sure if I was 26 years old and I told my father that I need to go rob somebody, so that would not be his solution. You know what I'm saying? His solution would not be, let's go rob somebody and let's get out of this problem. You know what I'm saying? We don't have fathers like that no more, man. Our fathers now are doing this right here, supporting you in your devilment, smoking weed with you, popping pills with you, fucking hoes with you. That's not the kind of fathers we need, man. We need fathers that can tell you, nah, young man, don't do that. That doesn't make sense. Do it this way. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say, man. I think at the end of the day, that's where I'm at with it, man. If a nigga robbed me right now, I'm calling the police. So that's what I would do. You know what I mean? That's just how.
Flat out. You're going to jail.
Right. No, that's all I'm saying, man. You fuck around, catch me outside 47. You catch me outside of outside of fourth quarter, something like that on a Saturday night. You rob me, I'm giving you everything I got, and I'm gonna take a picture of your license plate, and I'm calling the police. You're going to jail. It's over with, man. I'm not playing these games no more. It's over with, bro. It's over with, man. I'm not finna go chase you down. Oh, that nigga got my chain. I gotta go get that chain back. I'm not playing these games, man. I'm not doing this,
man,
bro.
Man, if I still wanted to take penitentiary chances, man, I would still be in the street. You see what I'm saying? I'm not taking no penitentiary chances out here. The only chance I'm gonna take out here is in for my family and putting in the work for the Lord. Period.
Right.
For my nation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're my only things that I'm willing to lay down my life about and willing to go do time about.
Right.
You're not gonna get me in no fugazi type street beef and you slide on me and if I gotta go that far, bro, I'm not. Listen, bro, it's not gonna be long and drawn out like that anyway.
Right.
And so, I mean, at the end of the day, man, you know, Pooh Shiesty, man, I hope that is a lesson to a lot of you youngsters out there, man, because it's real. Our youngsters are in a sad state right now, man. And I'm not saying we did any better, you know what I'm saying, when I was coming up, but you know what I'm saying, with this internet and stuff, and man, I just hope that y'all can look at a lot of this stuff, man. I understand, man, like it's a better way to do things. You understand? You have a rapper that had a promising future. He was a pretty good rapper. He was popular. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, if you got to work out a deal, you know what I'm saying, and you know, try to get out a deal, get you some lawyers, man.
Right.
So you just came out of the federal prison. Why do you want to go back? And you got your homeboys, right? You got Big 30 on the side of you. He's never he hasn't been convicted of a felony, but he just crashed out right along with you. Now, as far as the father goes, I hope that I want to say that I hope that father did not know about the extreme that was about to happen.
Right.
But at the same time, you should still have enough respect from your son to where you be like, son, stop. It's a better way to do this. You see what I'm saying? That should have been an OG Bobby Johnson and J-Rock situation right there, where he should have told his son to put the gun down. You feel me? That should have been that situation right there.
That's
and you know what I'm saying? And, you know, because at the end of the day, you got a cop, an ex-cop right here. You're robbing an ex-cop and a cameraman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, they had to be high. I mean, what was they thinking?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It was a ridiculous thing. They was out of line, and you know they just gotta take that L, man, that they crashed out. And, you know, if not, just be quiet and don't say nothing. And, hey, just go to court and, you know what I'm saying, fight the best way he can. But here's the other thing. They talking about Gucci. Pooh Shiesty's dad is an informant on paper. Okay? On paper. An informant.
Damn.
Okay? And his father was in the streets and he was an informant. And so the thing is about that, man, we might be seeing another Queso in Queso and his father situation. You know how Queso father got on the stand and told him that, hey, we might be seeing another situation like that, man, because at the end of the day, you should not be with your son committing crime. You know what I'm saying? You should be the voice of reason. You know what I'm saying? You should have been able to at least be like, all right, y'all robbed him. Man, look, I tell you what, I'm gonna try to clean up. Maybe you couldn't stop him at the time, but you should at least went to your son. Y'all give me back all the jewelry and let me go talk to Gucci Man, and maybe we can get past this without the police being involved. Because you know what I'm saying? We are two grown men, two men that's close to our 50s. We might be able to work this out. But if you don't take this man back his jewelry, it ain't nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing I can do, but we can at least try to return this man goods. You know what I'm saying? And try to, you know what I'm saying, get this thing resolved in the right way.
That's right.
And then guess what? It would have been a rumor that Gucci Man got robbed.
Right.
But they F themselves. Sloppy.
Damn right. Now what you saying, heavy on one, like the brother, if only we had more wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting from what you're saying, sir. If only we had more wisdom to be able to say, this is how we handle these situations. Well, the positive thing for y'all that are watching this show right now is that in the I.S.U.P.K, you have brothers that you can go to for counsel. In the I.S.U.P.K, you have brothers that you can go to and get that wisdom. You can call General Muhammad. You can call General YAHANNA. You can call General General Mayaka Ali. You can call General Q, all these brothers, man. You can call these brothers and get wise counsel. You can call Officer Picard and get wise counsel on different things, man. You know what I'm saying? You can call these brothers and try to figure out, all right, I'm in this situation. I'm really trying to figure out how I can get out the best I can. And you get that wisdom and work your way out of it, man. But what we do in the streets is we don't want that counsel. We don't want that wise wisdom. We close our ears to that, right? We close our ears and we tell these Christian pastors, speak to us smooth things. You thought Pooh Shiesty's was going to call his Christian pastor before he did that? What is Christian pastor going to do for him? That Christian pastor ain't going to tell that brother nothing that he going to want to hear. He going to still end up in prison like he did today. So, yeah, man, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, and we got to stop listening. Don't listen to that brother, man, that showed you how to cut up dope. Don't listen to that brother that showed you how to weigh it up and all that other stuff, man. He stuck with that. That's about all that he got that he can show you. Right. Man, listen. Regardless of what the internet says, man, y'all don't be so interested in that. Young brothers out here, we love y'all, man. And when we look at y'all, a lot of times we see ourselves. And so take it as love that the reason we're not trying to, you know what I'm saying, just take control of you and tell you what to do. Hey man, look, we know you're a grown man. You're a young man. But at the same time, we can see you headed down a path of destruction that's been all too common through these generations. Right. And so when we approach y'all, man, take it as you're being approached with love. You know what I'm saying? Right. The love that you should have been getting. You know what I'm saying? In the first place. You know, me and my brothers, we ain't finna tell you nothing wrong, man. We ain't finna send you out there to do no missions, crash out, none of that jazz. We with you. We backing you 100%, but you just gonna have to take some advice from time to time. So
you gotta get checked, man. That's why, listen, ain't nothing wrong with getting checked. The best thing, I'm gonna tell you, man, for the brothers that ain't in the school, the young brothers that's in the school, the young brothers coming up, troopers and 50s and young officers 500, man, the best thing you can do is get checked by a righteous brother. Because what is that checking doing? That checking is making you perfect. That checking is helping you to be a better brother. Don't be a brother that can't be checked, that can't receive a checking. Don't be a brother that can't be told, hey, you're doing it the wrong way. This is the way that we should do it. Because that's teaching you how to be a better brother, man. Shiesty is in jail right now because he didn't have somebody to check him. You got brothers over you that's willing to tell you this how you should do it. Do it this way. This is the right way to do it. Look at you and say, nah, don't do it like that. That's not right. This is how we should do it. That's what you need, brother. And that right there makes us all better because we're being checked by righteous brothers that are trying to do what's right for you and what's best for you, man. You know what I'm saying? You look at these brothers out in the world, they don't have that. And because they don't have that, they get the results that they get. Accept the checking, young man. Accept the checking, young officers and troopers, man. Accept the checking, man. That's all I'm going to say on that. But Slack on the one, that's all I got, man. I got to go up here and check on my mama, man. She's still in the hospital. She's in the rehab facility right now, so I'm going to go check on her, make sure she good. I got some mail I'm going to take up there to her just while she out. You know what I mean? She ain't at the crib or whatnot, so I'm going to take care of that. Anything you want to bring out before we get done, I don't want?
Nah, man, just send your mama my best wishes, man. I hope that she comes to a speedy recovery. You know, other than that, man, that's about it, man.
Right, sir. Well, now the water, I don't want the water. I for rocking out with me, man. I appreciate you, sir. Always been holding it down with me. I appreciate it, man. Look, this is episode 8. We're closing out episode 8. Sooner or later, we're finna be closing out episode 100. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to that. Y'all stay rocking with us, man. We're gonna close these mods out. We're gonna keep putting them in. We're not gonna do it next Sunday because I got something going on next Sunday. But we'll pick back up in May. We're gonna pick back up that first Sunday in May. We'll be back rocking and rolling with the One West perspective. Y'all stay tuned. Hey, listen, my name also 500 not a shot. I'm with brother Officer I.S.U.P.K out of I.S.U.P.K, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? We hold it down for hold it down for Commanders in YAHANNA, I.S.U.P.K, man. This y'all rock out with us. Shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh, Shah, Baraka Thumb, to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh, Shemal, Thun, by Shem, Yahweh, Shah, to all the sisters. The water for y'all checking in, man. Shalom.
Long Christ.